this computer. Attendees. Okay. I'm on. Come aboard. Where's the volume control for thing? What am I doing? Oh, it is. Does that work? Hello? Hey, there we go. Hi. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, I thought this mic would work. Does my voice sound okay?
Yeah, I just had to turn down my speaker so there was no feedback. How about your end?
Sounds good.
Or do you need headphones? Because headphones help too, but your hair. Or you got plugs?
Well, I mean, I don't know
I
if
can't
like
hear
the
anything
S's
now.
and the
Hold on.
P's sound okay.
Okay,
I
now.
have this microphone. I thought it would work, but I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, it works. I can hear you.
Sweet.
I like the headpiece. It's cool.
Yeah, you said you liked the one photo, so I thought I should wear it for the show.
Nice.
You think I should, or should I take it off?
Is it heavy?
No.
Okay.
Is it weird? I mean, I could just take it off. I thought it'd be cool.
It's fine. Take it off, yeah. And then we'll show it. I mean, you sell them, right?
What?
You make and sell them or something, right?
No.
Oh, not
You
those?
should take it off?
For now, because it's having a reflection from the sun.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Crazy busy. Oh my gosh. But not as much fun as you've been having.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy busy too. Like, I literally had to be on set from 3 a.m. to 8 p.m. like every day last week. So this week I've just been completely dead.
Wow, don't tell
And I was
Sag.
like way out in Malibu from like downtown LA every day, driving like way out in the mountains to get to this location. So it's a lot of work.
I'm so jealous. But there's going to be a lot of jealous people tonight. And, you know, it is kind of a hook to get people to watch, you know, Star Trek. So
yeah, I was so glad when I got that. I'm like, this is gonna be great for my bio.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know
You're
this
below.
red light is hitting me.
You're,
Sorry, let me
yeah, it's kind of It's kind of blowing you out on the left side.
further away.
Yeah, further away. That's perfect. Nice and balanced with a little bit of shine. So
Sweet.
okay, cool. All right. So, um, I'll do my introduction and whatnot. I'll have video turned off so they can't see you until I introduce you. And
Okay. Oh, how do I do that? I'm sorry, I'm not the most technical person. Oh,
yeah.
stop video. So I just press that. And
No. That's recording. You're recording the video.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
So how do I make the video stop? Or
I do that over here.
oh, okay. So I don't touch anything.
So yeah, what I'll do is I how do I, let me see real quick. Don't freak out. I'm just going to just test this. Okay, why can't it won't? I want to click on this button, but it keeps popping up another way. Oh, here we go. Stop video. Okay. And then unmute. Where'd you go? Hold on. Ask to start video. Do you get a little thing saying start the video?
Yes.
Okay, so when I hit that, then click on it, and go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And that brings you up.
Cool.
Unfortunately, yeah, normally I could do it over here, but it has a menu pop up over the little video camera, so I can't click on it. I don't know why. I'll have to let them know they have to fix that. So yeah, so that's how I'll do. I'll do my introduction, or my intro, and then I'll introduce you. I have to do the sponsor thing first, get that out of the way, so don't forget, because I get all lost in the conversation and don't do that. And it's a long list of sponsors. Thank God.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah, I am. I mean, we sold a crap load of VIP passes in 24 hours the other day before yesterday.
Awesome. You said we're all going to be staying in cabins. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
That sounds so cool. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. Rob,
like Brad and Emily and Laura's going to be there. They're all like my homies, so I'm super excited. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot. We got now. Not everybody's. Only a few of you are staying at the cabins. I'm only to get the sponsors. They'd fork over a couple rooms here and a couple rooms at this place, and so I'm having to go to different locations to spread it out, because if not, I'd be looking at over $5,000 in hotel rooms and stuff. And
oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys get the cool cabins. I'm gonna go talk to another cabin place tomorrow, see if I can get a couple more rooms or cabins at their location. I've got 2 at the Green Tree Hotel, and the owner's like, she can stay at my hotel. He saw the flyer. He's like, she can stay at my hotel. And then we got the Best Western, and a couple of them are going to stay at the casino. But the casino, I've got nothing but. These are people that are like, no, it's fine. I was there last year. It was cool. So I'm like, all right, fine. Everybody else was like, no, the beds are stiff and the refrigerators are rattly, and so that's why I'm spreading them out to other locations. Plus, you want to be in a square box room, or would you like to be in a cabin with a fireplace and couches?
I'm gonna be in a cabin. That sounds so cool.
Yeah. So
it'll be like summer camp, but in like the fall.
It'll be my superstars. It's going to be, well, I have to call, I called Laura today, because the cabins are like, some of them are multiple rooms. So I was going to see, I just didn't, I was going to ask her if it's cool, if maybe you guys could bunk together.
She would love it. I would be down for that. I'm sure she would love it. Okay. I was just hanging out with her at Dimensions of Disclosure, and she's like, "We need to hang out more.
Okay.
We need to do more stuff together."
All right, then I'm gonna go talk. I'm gonna go talk to the resort tomorrow, and just let them know I'm gonna be putting multiples in each of the cabins. Okay. Joel Christopher Payne, he's been declared now the #1 Disney artist in the world. And he created Groms and Friendlians and whatnot, and he's going to be coming up. Well, he was supposed to come up with his wife and kids, but she got called in work, and so the kids have to stay too. And he was like, "Man, I feel bad having a whole cabin to myself." So I'm throwing Rob and Ben and their camera guy. Says internet's unstable. All right, there we go. So Rob and Ben from Edge of Wonder with their camera guy are going to stay in the big place with Joel. You guys will be together, and I know it came with a hot tub bathtub in Laura's.
Whoa.
So I don't know if there's two bathrooms or just one, because I wasn't expecting the bunk up thing. So you okay?
I think you're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, I had a little unstable there for a second.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Aha. Okay. Let's see. Participants 1, attendance. Try, click again. Oh, why did you do that, Skinner? Dumbass. All right, here we go. Move that over there. Bring this up. There
What
you
happened?
go. We had an internet drop.
Okay. Hopefully that doesn't happen during the interview.
Yeah, if it does, it's live. People get it. They understand. Just hopefully it won't drop the whole thing. So that, yeah, internet. Can't control it, unfortunately. All right, so did you see you saw the commercial, right?
Yeah, the trailer that you put out.
Yeah,
that was so cool. I loved it. My parents called me. I just like share on my Facebook. They called me from the Midwest, and they're like, "Wow, that trailer you're on is so awesome." I'm like, I wish I could go to that event.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. It's. I mean, I've become really big in the Philippines.
Yeah, you were talking about that the other day online. That's what, like, people just saw the trailer and they
all of a sudden in the past 2 weeks, I went from having 1,300 friends for the past 5 years to that I knew all of them to, I think I'm at 42 or 4,600 or something crazy like that right now in just 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I would check them, if it was a, weird site, no. But they were all into ghosts and paranormal, UFOs, Bigfoot, or music, or acting, or IMDb, all that stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but I'm not gonna push it away.
Was this from the trailer, you think?
Possibly. And then it was right when I went to Seattle and I did the TV episode with Don Franklin, UK's #1. Not a girl.
Oh, it's apple cider.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is it okay if I do that during the interview? I don't want to look like an alcoholic.
It was like rock out.
I swear it's apple cider.
That's awesome. Okay.
I was gonna get coffee next door. I got apple cider instead because it looked better.
Oh, okay. I like. I mean, just the background and everything, artist motif, paintings, music. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, my dragon skull's back here.
I saw. Yeah, you did that post earlier. What's that for?
Yeah, but look, I put teeth on it now.
Oh,
it's okay. It's for my shaman spirits shoot. But look, I found these buffalo teeth. I put buffalo teeth on them. But these are the roots. They're actually down backwards. The flat part of their real teeth is up there.
Wow. Well, I want you to show that later. Okay.
Okay. Should I? I'll keep this one right here.
Yeah. Very cool. This is gonna be fun. All right. Now I have to. Let's see. I haven't used Zoom in a while. All right. I have to. What is it? Oh, I have to go here and then connect to my Facebook. So, you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to put you on. Actually, can you just mute your camera on your side? I'll just let you be in control of that.
What do I do?
You just click on the little mute button, the camera thing.
So stop video?
Yeah. But you can still see me, I think, right?
Here, let me do it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But you can still hear me, right? Okay, but we can hear you, so you just remember that, all right?
Okay.
And let's see. Why can't they see me? I think it's crap. Oh, I know why. Okay. I'm gonna connect on my Facebook. On my timeline. Oh god, here we go. I always get butterflies. 40 years I've been doing this.
Me too. Every time before I go on stage too.
Yep. Here we go. Oh, really? Previewing. Okay. Oh, I got to type all this stuff in. 1028 live with Apolla Asteria. Okay. Got the preview going. And oh, got to put it up here too. 1028 live with Star Trek actress. You were an actress, right?
Yes.
You weren't going to tell me. I work camera. I was a grip. I'm like, damn it. All right. Apolla Picard actress. Apolla Asteria.
That's for my ringer.
All right. Oh, butterflies. Here we go. Lord, please don't let anything crash tonight. Okay. I get so nervous. Doing this for years. Where's the button? Over here. So many buttons. God, here we go. Going live. Wait, what? Yeah. Oh, hi everybody. Doc Skinner here. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on this big ball we call Earth. Yeah, we got a really cool show. And believe it or not, 7 o'clock on the dot, as promised. I've got an amazing person I'm going to introduce you tonight. Her name is Apolla Asteria. She's a model. She's an actress. She's a musician in an amazing band. She's based out of Hollywood, I think. California. We'll just say California. She can correct me later. And I'm like hard of breath about all this. I butterflies, nervous, but you guys are going to love this. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I can tell you it's going to be phenomenal. She's also a speaker at UFO conferences and other kinds of conferences. I'm sure she'll talk about that. She's an artist. She makes things, which I'm sure you'll see too. All right, so I'm pumped. Wait. I can't do this yet. I have to do all the logistics first. All right. So what this is all about is Apolla's going to be speaking at Disclosure Con 2019 at the Honda Casino Resort, October 5th and 6th in Pine Top, Arizona. If you want more information, go to disclosurecon.com. That's DISCLOSURECON.com. You can purchase your tickets online or your VIP passes. The VIP passes are selling quick, let me tell you, because it comes with a lot of cool stuff. Early access to the event. You get to go to the private VIP after party at the Lodge Bar and Grill, the legendary Lodge Bar and Grill. And then Sunday night, we're also doing a fireside chat with all the VIPs and the speakers. So it's very cool. It's very intimate. It's a lot of fun. It's a great time of year to be on the mountain. It's going to be nice and cool. Last year it snowed, so bring a jacket just in case. But I would like to say none of this would be possible. I came up with this zany idea and said, why not? And I have to say thank you to all these people that have believed in me. Of course, my company 1028 Productions puts it on, but we had amazing help from Whispering Pines Cabins, the Honda Casino, the Green Tree Inn in Pine Top, the Best Western in Pine Top, Dharmar Production, the Sholo Film Festival, GSD Production Studios, Duncan Homestead Productions, Big Kid Gamers Lounge in Pine Top, where you can also purchase tickets, by the way, as well as the Lodge Bar and Grill, and Sweet Pea Sweet Peas Infusion Cafe in Pine Top. They also have tickets if you want to go there and you're here on the mountain. Let's see. Also, the show Edge of Wonder on YouTube. Those guys are going to be here. Rob and Ben. I am so pumped. I can't tell you enough. Then we've got Suzanne Ross with the Sci-Fi TV Network. She's helping out as well. Mysterious Forces Live is helping. The Maverick Magazine, the Leak Project, Karen's Bakery, Mailbox Plus, and I hope I didn't forget anybody else. I'm sure there's some, but I'll tell you next time. But thank you to all of them. If you're on the mountain, please visit their businesses or go to their hotels while you come to the event, or the casino. I mean, everybody. I want you to not just come to this event, learn a lot of cool stuff, meet some of your heroes, but I want you to enjoy this mountain. I want you to enjoy the people that live here, because this is we are the #1 log cabin vacation destination, I think, in the world, or at least the United States. So come check us out. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit you. Come check us out. Now, all that's out of the way. We got some big things that are going to be happening at Disclosure Con. Last year, that people that came knew that we had the interior set of the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars there. Artist rendition, of course. And it was awesome. We had everybody, take pictures with it and everything. And this year, we're stepping it up. I've got one set, you might say, a photo area that will be an illusion in a way. Let's say you'll be able to defy gravity. All right. And then we're going to be, if we can get this part, we're going to work on Vortex Stargate kind of thing. Not Stargate, but Vortex portal with a visitor maybe. And then, the rest I'm just going to leave. You're going to have to come to Disclosure Con and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, if you didn't know, check this out, parents. I know a lot of parents have a lot of kids these days, so check it out. 12 and under, be honest, by the way. 12 and under with a adult ticket, it's in free. That's right. All day. Starts at 11 o'clock to the public. Unless you're VIP, you get an hour early, and it will go to 8 o'clock. And then the VIP stuff goes on after that. So everybody that will be appearing that I did not mention, we got, of course, President Dwight D. Eisenhower's great-granddaughter, Laura Eisenhower. We have, from the Leak Project, Rex Bear. From Sholo MUFON, David Loomis. From the UK, the UK's #1 leading paranormal investigator, Don Phillips. The one and only Brooks Agnew. And if you don't know who he is, check out the new Godzilla movie that just came out. They make mention to him in the Inner Earth, so check that out. From Phoenix MUFON and Arizona State MUFON, Stacy Wright and Jim Mann. And from Edge of Wonder, Ben Chastain and Rob Counts. Then we also have #1 Disney artist, Joel Christopher Payne, who's going to be coming, showing his art, selling his art. We're going to be doing a very special presentation, you might say, for his new series, Friendlians, which I happen to be one of the cartoon characters. Then we got Suzanne Ross, from the founder and host of Sci-Fi TV Network, will be here, as well as Natasha Nix from Mysterious Forces Live, and Brad Olson from World Stompers, Antarctica and South America. And James, he's Indiana Jones, basically, with a cool beard. And he's going to be here. He's going to be talking about all that. And the footage is awesome. I know, because I'm editing it. It's just, getting to see stuff in Antarctica that other people didn't get to see. It's just privilege. So anyway, do that. Do it now. DisclosureCon.com. Well, actually, don't do it now. After the show. DisclosureCon.com. Okay, can you tell? I'm nervous. I'm shaking. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I said one day I would get a Star Trek celebrity to come to DisclosureCon. I didn't know it was going to be this quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Apolla Asteria. And she has to hit the button. There we go. There she is. Everyone. Hi. All right. Hi. Now, give me 1 second. I'm watching the live feed. I want to make sure it kicks over to you. Oh, and it's probably going to be a 30-second lead. But anyway, we'll wait. So, hi. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be on your show. It's been entertaining to watch. And Disclosure Con, oh my God, that's going to be so great. This fireside chat you just mentioned in the intro,
Hmm.
I didn't know about that. That sounds really fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Last year, Travis Walton was one of the speakers, and he pulled out a guitar, and we just started singing. And
Oh my
um,
gosh, should I bring my guitar? I
yes,
can jam out. Oh my,
Natasha Nix has. It's okay. It's internet. Natasha Nix has an alien electric guitar. Um,
what? An
yeah,
alien one?
yeah, custom made for her by somebody important. I can't remember their name. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was originally supposed to be outside at a private area. We'll just say, I don't, in case I use it again, I don't want to give it away. But we were gonna have all the VIPs come out there and just have a fireside chat under the stars. But strangely enough, very peculiarly, we had snow that night. So we changed the location to another location. We had a fireside chat, and it was just awesome.
Oh my
So
gosh, you know, you wouldn't even know how much I've missed wildfire or fire since moving from Illinois. Like we can't ever have fires out here in LA because of all the wildfires going on. So I'm really
yeah,
excited for
well,
that.
yeah, and we get our restriction times. You know, we have Smokey tell us, you know, medium, high levels of chance of fire. So, um, but but we have enough green trees up here that you know we can have campfires and whatnot. So, but it's gonna be a
Awesome.
lot of fun, and I'm so stoked about it. I'm so stoked about these new things. We're building these. These illusion setups that I'm having for the photo area,
Oh my
and
gosh, that sounds really cool.
yeah, and I've been very fortunate to get some volunteers that are going to help me. So you know, crack of dawn, 10 a.m. we'll, we'll start and just build away. It took us 2 months to build the interior set of the Millennium Falcon last year.
Mhm.
So, but I can't claim I did not raise a hammer to it. I supervised because I had all
Just
the other logistics.
organize it.
Amazing team though. So, and they never built anything before. No set design skills, nothing, and it just was awesome. It was awesome. So we're gonna bring
Wow,
it back and connect it, and so you can get your photo with it. So,
awesome. I'm
um,
so excited.
yeah. And the first night, we're going to have a talking panel about social media like YouTube, how there's all these restrictions. You know, there's this like internet war going on.
The internet censorship that's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. We
That's
got to be
the
careful.
most important topic right now. Really,
Right.
it really is.
So, and it's restricted me. I've had to go as close, you know, towards the direction of Mr. Rogers in some cases because, you know,
I
uh,
definitely feel like I'm being shadow banned because it's like everything on Instagram. I always tag, you know, white hats, alliance, you know, like pro Second Amendment type stuff, and obviously it's like my followers kind of stay at the same, um, and it just doesn't go any higher, and it's messed up.
yeah. So you were at what was the name of the conference? It was Seven something in Sedona.
Seven Seal Summit.
Seven Seals Summit. That's correct. And you know, I saw you. You were uh, you had a booth set up outside, and I was just frantic because I'm running sound, video, lights, and trying to help organize with Suzanne and stuff. And I just remember passing you briskly because I saw what you had. Would you mind showing people what you're going to have at your booth this year?
Okay, well, you can see some behind me here, and here's a
There
little
you go.
poker up here. These are called shaman spears. I invented them myself. They're for channeling energy. They all have copper coils, crystals, sand I collect from sacred places around the world, and magnets and naturally magnetic hematite sand on the insides. So they're super powerful energetically. And I kind of got into this because I was raised by quantum touch energy healers, and I am very pretty gifted in it myself. I just got properly trained recently, but I was kind of raised my whole life in it. So these are just kind of like devices where if you already know how to work with energy, they multiply it like times 10 with, you know, just the science of how they work. Um, you can see they have you know, a crystal on each end and just magnets all the way down the inside. So they're very powerful and they're fun to just go hiking with, and I always take them to festivals with me, and they're just super fun. So
Yeah.
every time I go on a hike, I just make everyone carry one with me, and it's just like kind of my thing.
And you were working on these heads for an event, you said.
Well, so I'm doing a promo shoot for my shaman spears, and I've been playing on this for a while. I have a lot of people that want to get involved in it, like all different types of people. Like I have a wizard guy that's gonna be involved. He has like a long like beard, he looks like Merlin. So I'm excited about that. But so these are dragon skulls I'm creating. This isn't finished yet. You can see, I don't know if you can see. There's like other ones in the back. I'm working on 5 of them, but yeah, these are buffalo teeth I put on right here. And so they're basically going to be like headdresses, like you can wear them up here. And I think the Shaman Spear shoot that I'm doing, the promo shoot, it should be done around the end of this month. So I will most likely have these at Disclosure Con for sale. So if
Nice.
anyone would like to purchase one, this isn't the finished product, but it's still really cool already. So
Yeah, it looks
you're
like
excited
something you
about it.
like a archaeological dig and you find something like that.
Yeah, see that archaeology, like forbidden archaeology, that's like the number one thing that really got me into the whole ufology, exopolitics scene. Like I think it was like that and esoteric knowledge. I was like an avid researcher of like basically since the time I could read. I was just like reading books on it every single night, and that's really what got me into the UFO stuff. Like I always believed there was like aliens out there, but looking at the forbidden archaeology and the real history of our ancient past and really studying it, that's what really makes you understand what is going on a deeper level.
Right. Well, all I know is when I was running sound, you went up on stage and I didn't know that you were also a presenter. And everything you said, and I even think I told you this, it was like everything that you said that day on stage, I felt like it was me speaking because I agreed with every single thing you said. And that's when I was like, I got to give you my number. You got to come to Disclosure Con. Done.
I remember that. I remember you saying that.
Yeah. Can you? I want to have them know a little bit of what you're going to be talking about. Don't give it all away, but just a little elevator pitch. And then I know everybody's wanting to hear a little bit about Picard. Now that I can say that, I was so worried. I was like, oh, it's everything's top secret. I gotta tease them somehow. How do I do it?
I know. I wish I could say more details. I really do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I signed NDAs, so I'll say as much as I can about it.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't got my paycheck yet.
well, how much longer do we have to wait for it to come out?
I'm not really sure. I should know this. I'm pretty sure it's like the upcoming season. Like
Okay.
probably like winter. I don't know. I can't say. I know
In
it's
the
coming
near
out
future.
soon.
Yeah. Well, this is so awesome. I mean, I had
Yeah,
no
I'm really
idea. You surprised me with it yesterday. I had no clue.
It's funny. I remember you saying when when you were telling me about this event, you were like, it's also kind of a sci-fi Comic-Con-y type event. And, like that would be cool if you were doing more sci-fi stuff. And I was like, yeah, my manager's been trying to promote me as a sci-fi actress, but I haven't really booked anything with it yet. And then I just got this the other week and I was like, cool, I can use this for the Disclosure Con.
Nice. So you mentioned your band. You want to tell people about your band and where they can listen, website and all that? Because and why you chose the name.
Okay, well, it's actually Casey Barrick is the lead singer, and this is his group, the Siren. I'm the guitarist for it, so I don't, want to take credit for coming up with the name or anything. He came up with it.
Okay.
I just joined the group like about 3 years ago, so he's been doing this for I think about 6 years with this particular the Siren project. So what it is, though, is a 432 hertz music, 432 hertz frequency. What's important with that is so basically around the time of like the Nazi propaganda era, that whole era, they changed the official tuning of the official concert A tuning from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. If you look at all the ancient instruments, they're actually tuned to 432 hertz frequency, which is a harmonic resonance it's on the Schumann resonance. So that's really important because, I'm sure a lot of you out there, you've probably seen the schematics, what it does with the sand, how it makes like shapes or water makes shapes when it's.
I spoke with him. The guy that does that music video, he's over Paris or France or somewhere over there. And he was so honored. And he said, I had the permission to play that video if I wanted to, but I want, and then one of my speakers actually, Brooks Agnew, he actually played the video. I was like, I was going to play that. But I have his contact. That is one guy I want him for, either bring him here for a show or have him here for Disclosure Con and talk about that science, because
that would be really incredible.
oh yeah,
Like,
just, I mean, if you, what's the name of the band, his band with that video? I forgot.
I'm not sure. Oh, but I didn't say the name of the band I'm in. It's
Yeah. Oh, you haven't
Siren.
said it. Yes. So say it.
The Siren. So to check out the details, just go to whatistissiren.com. You'll get the link to the YouTube and everything else, because obviously there's a lot of sirens out there. But the Siren is not like, I'm the only girl. A lot of people think it's a girl band when they hear that, but I'm the only girl in the band. It's 3 guys and me. It's like siren, like, you know, like ambulance, like sirens, because he's all into post-apocalyptic kind of stuff. So that's what I really like about being a part of this project, and I joined it because you know, we only perform at like conscious events like Zeitgeist Media Festival, United We Stand Fest, and like he's the first artist that had Edward Snowden in a song. So it's just only conscious stuff, and so that's what we're doing with that. And it's all in 432 hertz, like my guitar is tuned in 432 hertz, vocals are. So yeah.
Wow.
I need to talk about my presentation too. You told me to talk about that.
Oh yeah, we skipped that. Sorry, my bad. Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay, so my presentation at Disclosure Con, which I hope you're all going to, and if you aren't planning on going to it, you should change your plans and go to it. So it's going to be on solutions for humanity, which obviously we need right now. I mean, just look at the world. And everyone's saying like, oh, the world's falling apart right now. But no, the world is not falling apart. The veil of worldwide corruption is lifting. That's what we got to think about. Like, you know, all this dark stuff is coming to the surface because it needs to be evaporated. It needs to go away. So we can't get rid of it till it's all brought to the light. So that's what we really need to be thinking about right now. So what I wanted to do with my presentation, when I was asked to start giving presentations around about this time last year is when I really started going around giving presentations. I decided, at first I wanted to make it on, I was in Egypt at the time when I was asked to do a presentation. So at first I wanted to make it on the pyramids and how we could bring them back to their worldwide energy grid and restore them. But then I was thinking, you know, that's a great solution for humanity, but there's a lot of other great solutions for humanity. So I just decided, I started laying them all out, and I realized that I think it's important that we have all these solutions laid out, because everyone's always talking about the problems and no one's ever talking about the solutions. And I think if we all collectively knew of solutions that we could use to move forward, then we would be able to manifest them much faster. So obviously we all need these visuals. And so my presentation is mostly on visuals. Like a lot of it, the very end of it is like my favorite part, because it goes over things like vertical gardens and circular communities, different cool ways of like going about things in society that we aren't doing right now that we could easily do and would make things so much better and easier for everyone. So you know what I'm talking about. You've seen the presentation, but it was very short, and I'm so glad you're letting me do my full length 2-hour presentation for this event.
So yeah, it's gonna be awesome, because I felt like I just got a tip of the iceberg, you know. So
yeah, you really did.
Now hold on.
It really made me nervous trying to go through that so fast. I'm so glad I can really get into things this time.
Well, go ahead and just hold on one second. I've had you really low on the speaker, but I know it's going back to the microphone, so it's doing the camera back and forth thinking I'm speaking.
Oh, so okay.
Let me put you in my headphones real quick. And hopefully I won't hit the power button. There we go. Okay, let's see. Go ahead and speak now.
Hello.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, wait, so could everyone hear me during my whole spiel just
no, they could, but I had to turn my external speaker down so it didn't go through the microphone. And I was getting tired of, you know, wincing in my listening, so now I can hear you.
Sweet.
I mean, loudly, so. All right, so that's going to be awesome. And you're going to have the shaman spears. You said possibly the headpieces, which are pretty cool. I know a lot of people here would totally dig those. What was that?
I live in downtown LA, so there's very loud cars
Oh,
going by. Maybe that's what you heard.
oh, I mentioned
Yeah.
I mentioned the dragon. I hear this.
Oh, no, that was a car going by on the freeway.
I was like, cool. It has special sound effects. Or you were
Wow,
very
that
hungry.
mic is really good.
Yeah, I told you. So, all right. So let's see. Let's go in here. I'm gonna click this. Yeah. Now we have got a lot of comments. Looking forward to the show. Oh, we gotta say hello to a few people. Well, my mom. Hi, mom. Jessica Stevens, Lex, Julie, Chris, Jane, Anna, Jason, Alicia, Pat, Mary, Pat, Vicky, Casey, uh, Jeremy Nels, just Jeremy, Jana, and three others that won't let me see their names. So, and Pat Leal saying hi. So we got a lot of comments here. Good evening. Hey, Doc. Hi, hi, hi. Wish I was closer to help. This is a good show. Let's see. A lot of highs. Anybody have any questions for Apolla? Hey, this is my first major college archaeology. Well, everybody just kind of saying hello, and they all like the show. So, but if anybody has any questions for Paula, just go ahead and put it in the comment section, and I'll read it off. So, what else do you got going on other than, I mean, is this Star Trek thing, was this a one thing, or are they possibly
I
coming back?
finished filming it. It was
Okay.
several days in a row. I can't really give details, like I said, but I am on the Picard, the one with the original, guy that's found.
Jean-Luc,
So he's
yes.
brought back for it.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm on, and that's pretty much all I can say. Except I'm an alien on it. I think it's okay. I can say that, and I can't really say anything else because I
Awesome.
signed non-disclosure agreements, and I still haven't got my paycheck yet. So
Yes. Okay, we're going to stop
should be
right there.
careful.
We'll
But
move on.
I actually, what's funny is I actually talked to the production people during the whole like filming of it. And one of the days I was done a little early, and Dimensions of Disclosure, we were filming in Malibu, and Dimensions of Disclosure was actually going on in Ventura, which wasn't that far down the 101 or the one. So I was telling everyone, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to go today to go to Dimensions of Disclosure, this UFO conference. And like all the directors and everyone were like, you go to UFO conferences? And I was like, yeah, I actually speak at them. So I started like kind of talking to them about everything. And they're like, why are you into it? And I started going on about like, free energy technology and like full disclosure and everything. And they were all like really interested. So it was pretty funny.
I mean, you say the crew of the show were like,
Yeah,
you go
like I
to
was talking to the makeup artist people and the directors and everyone. They're
what?
like, "Wow, like you're
What?
actually into all this." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm so glad I'm on this show because like it's great." And like all the makeup artist people and everyone, they started like giving me their UFO experiences, and I was like, "You should come to Dimensions of Disclosure," and I was like trying to bring them out. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, but you actually got to you got to go. You realized it wasn't that far away, and you got to meet with Rob and Ben, right?
Yeah, well, no, I met with Rob. I didn't meet with Ben. I was walking through the darkness. I didn't get there till late at night that night. I just came just in time to. I actually didn't get a pass, but I snuck into Corey Good and David Wilcox talk. But yeah, and then everyone's like, "Oh, there's a UFO watch outside." So I just walked outside through the darkness with my shaman spear, and I randomly ran into Rob, and I was like, "Hey, you're going to be interviewing me at Disclosure Con." And he's like, "Oh my gosh." We talked for a little bit. Yeah,
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, Rob and Ben are awesome guys, and
I watch their show all the time. What's funny is I always watch it while I'm making these. It's just kind of like I'll throw it on, and then I get into like a little secret space program wormhole while I'm like making my stuff.
that's awesome.
That's why I like to call, because every time I stop making it, I come out of it and like meet up with someone. I'm like in a trance, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just in this like secret space program, like wormhole right now. I'm trying to come out of it."
Well, that was one thing I was hoping to get was someone like Corey or somebody that come and talk about the secret space program, because Trump just, they just released the logo or something for the secret space, or not secret, but the Space
The
Force.
Space Force.
It sounds like this week on Space Force.
Have you heard the theme song for it yet?
There's that.
I don't know if it's the real theme song, but they always play it on like InfoWars, and I love it.
Oh, where they have
and it's like
and Trump is in there. Yeah, Space
yeah.
Force. Yeah, I've seen it. That's hilarious. But yeah, it's wild how with the disclosure concept, how it's all coming out, and how people like us are part of the industry that is leaking it out, planting the seeds, you might say, to the public, and how that's gone on for many years. Actually, Dave Loomis, the Shola MUFON director up here, is going to be speaking, and he's doing a whole lecture on how sci-fi movies from the very beginning days to today has been an influence on our society and our way of thinking and belief systems. That was actually our topic, our table discussion topic last year, how science fiction has inspired science fact and science fact has inspired science fiction. And it was a pretty cool debate, or not debate, but discussion. And we hope to do something really cool like that this year too. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. Also, let's see. So what other projects do you got coming up?
Well, I've been asked to work on NCIS next week, so I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know yet, but I said I was available, so.
Yeah, I would be like, that. I'm free, take me. Actually, you know, it's crazy. At our film festival that we're holding the 17th to the 20th here in Pine Top, we have a movie that I'm in. I get to go to a red carpet in September and in November.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so if you're out, maybe you should come out.
Oh, you told me before this. I'm actually in a feature film that they've been putting around at different film festivals that Tim Robbins produced.
Wow.
I need to send you the link with these people because they just finished it. Maybe they would want to air it there. It's called A Hot Winter. Yeah. It's Tim Robbins produced it and Son directed it. And literally right before I came on to the Skype, they just told me, hey, we're all done editing. We just want your okay. And we're going to send you paychecks and whatnot. So maybe I should send you links with them because they probably want to show it there.
Yeah, if you could give me producer, directors, whoever's in charge, whoever owns it, whatever, have them contact me right away because our deadline's already passed for submission. But we might. I don't have say. It's not my event. I work it with Martina Webster. She's the brains behind it, and have to check with her. But she's looking for stuff to just premiere. Turnover is one of them, the movie that I'm in. And it was linked to CSI. It has Peter. Oh, no, Peter's his character name. I just went blank. Anyway, one of the guys from CIS. Not NCIS, but CIS. Cool. And so hopefully he'll be out here for the event. If not, he'll be at the LA one. So you should definitely come. And it's a great movie. It's a family movie. Everybody can take the kids to. We've got Jamie Brewer. You know who she is? You like American Horror Story?
Oh yeah.
She's the one with Down syndrome. She's in the movie. Whole list. IMDb, the turnover. Check out the trailer. And I'll tell you, what is the craziest reason you've signed a gig deal? What did they say that you were like, oh, I got to do this? What was the craziest thing you've done?
What do you mean with?
Okay, my example. I said when Martina asked me to shadow her as a producer on the film, I was like, nah, I'm good. I've been there, done it, you know. And she's like, well, what if we let you act in it, give you some lines? I'm like, well, no, I'm just gonna stay on the mountain. You know, I'm like M. Night Shyamalan. I don't want to leave 10-mile radius of my home or film outside my home, you know. And she goes, well, there's a food fight scene. I was like, where do I sign? So I got to throw the first salad in the food fight scene.
That's awesome. What movie is this for?
It's called Turnover, kind of like an apple turnover, but without the apple. So we'll be premiering it here. We'll be preparing September 20th. That will be in LA, and then November 1st, that will be, I think, at the Chinese Theater. So.
Oh wow! Oh, here in LA?
Yeah, Hollywood. I'm coming.
I want to come out and see it.
That's what I'm saying. We got to get you a ticket so you can come. All right.
Awesome. Yeah.
We'll introduce you to everybody. Amazing cast and crew. Nothing against guys, but the crew was almost, I think, 90% women, and I was blown away at the craftsmen. I mean, they were so on it. And
I've been noticing that more and more lately. Every time I go on set, like half the crew is like women now, and that's a great change.
Yeah, like nothing against men. Okay, I'm a guy and I was on crew, but
I mean, it was before.
it's
It's like
refreshing.
kind of like a male job. It was seen as, so
Yeah.
it's nice that like there's equality.
I mean, the camera girl came in. I didn't know she was a camera girl, and she started picking up the huge camera and everything. And I was like, "Oh, do you need help?" And then I realized, "Oh, that's the camera person." I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," So, but yeah, Linda Palmer was the director, and she makes an effort to have a lot of women work on her productions, and she puts out just great movies. She's going to be one of the up and coming huge directors, female directors, and it was just an honor to get to work with her on this film. So yes, let's set that up. You get me in touch with your friends with the movie. I'll call them this week. I'm going to be at the International UFO conference in Phoenix this week.
I wanted to make it out to that one, but I don't know. I feel like it's too much right now to go out last minute.
Yeah.
Kind of want to, though.
Yeah.
Might just do it.
Well, if you do, I'll be manning Natasha Nix's booth, the Mysterious Forces live show, which you will be on as well. You're gonna be getting a call from the Edge of Wonder. You're gonna be getting a call from Brooks Agnew. Getting a call from Suzanne Ross from the Sci Spy TV network. Well, you know Suzanne.
I know her.
Yeah. And Rex Bear from the Leak Projects. You guys are gonna have a heyday. He is. You know Rex Bear?
I'm not sure. I don't think.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Rex Bear is awesome. He's zany, kooky, fun. We'll just say that. He likes to wear masks and act like the alien from Mars Attacks.
Wow.
He'll probably try to sell you his hat. He has a hat that can withstand 5G frequencies.
What?
Oh yeah.
I want that.
Yeah. He'll be calling you. So when you talk, say, "Hey, I'm interested in a hat." But they're like special, not Kevlar, but special anti-radio frequency clothing or something special. They're not cheap, but he swears they work. So he's got those, and he's an art collector. If you did art for him, he'd put it up behind his wall with all his other art.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have my shaman spears and my dragon skulls out there.
Oh, so. Yeah. I mean, Joel Christopher Payne did a Star Wars painting for him because he's a Disney artist, and he has that on display as well. He also has in 3 gigantic frames every single card from the NWA card game. What was it called? The ones that predicted the future that everybody talks about.
I don't. Wait, are you the New World Order one?
Yeah. And it had all the cartoons showing.
I've seen person before. I've heard about or I've seen pictures of them, but
yeah, he has every single one all framed because it's hard.
I'm interested to see that. I haven't actually seen it in person before.
Yeah, and he also puts on events too in Colorado, so that's a good contact to have.
Cool.
So yes, you're going to be all over the place this month.
And they're contacting me. They're going to be interviewing me before the event.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Cool. Yeah. So everybody in the world's gonna know. Everybody in the world. Oh my gosh, I've been neglecting everybody. Adam, hi, thanks for joining. O'Brien's, hi, how are you doing? Glenda, Cheryl, Mike Mahoney, how are you, sir? He is probably one of the most legendary photographers on the mountain. He's just amazing. But he's not gonna be here. He'd so want to get your photo. I mean, he's awesome.
I was love taking pictures.
Yeah, no, definitely. He would be the guy.
I was wondering with this event, because it's half kind of Comic-Con-y, half serious UFO convention. Can I come dressed as Barbarella one of the days of the event, or is that too much?
It's all ages.
Barbarella outfit.
I know a lot of people that would totally approve of that, but it is a family thing.
Okay, yeah, it's probably too much for that. It was latex, it's not.
It's
I'll wear it for the VIP party.
Yes, because no kids allowed there after 9.
Okay,
So
cool.
state law. Yeah, if you want to do that, the place will be packed. Because actually, you should come. Oh, man, if you could be here for the Halloween event, that's our biggest bash of the mountain every year.
I might actually be performing in Vegas at the Hard Rock on Halloween. So
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. No, I mean, it's a
but
for
that sounds cool.
performers, it's a hard thing. There's actually 2 girls, Laser Girl and Light or Laser Lady and Light Girl. You need to check them out. Look them up, and then you need to contact them. These girls,
Laser girls.
they're Vegas dancers that went on their own to do this thing where with lasers, where they have a laser beam and they can snap it in half and they can toss the laser over to the other girl and grab it and they manipulate. Like, I
What?
know,
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh, that sounds awesome.
Like, yeah, laser girl and light laser lady and light girl. Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll send you the YouTube videos and it'll just blow your mind. I tried to get them last year. She wanted to do it, but it was my first year. I didn't have the funds for it, but I was hoping to get them back this year. But definitely next one. Definitely next one. But if you're there in Vegas, look them up, see if you can see their show, and videotape it for me.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. I would love to see that.
Yes, yes. So, anywho, on to I like to make sure I notice everybody that comes on. Jane, Karen, Joseph, Lasantha, Brandon, Thomas, Mom again, hi. Ryan, Shay, Robert, Ruben, Philippe or Philip, Jim, and oh my gosh, that's not even the comments. That's just who jumped on. So, wow. Seeing if there's any questions for you. I think they're just enthralled with what we're talking about. Let's see. Have you seen oh, here we go. Got one for you from Casey Barrick. Have you ever seen oh, is that somebody you know?
That's the lead singer of my band.
Oh, hi, Casey. All right. Well, it's a question. Casey wants to know, have you ever seen an alien or a UFO? If so, describe the type it was. This should be good.
Okay, well, my biggest paranormal experience, it was actually in the desert in Joshua Tree, and I promise, I was totally sober. It was just out in the desert, and this lime green ball of light just came down from the sky. It was about like the size of a basketball. It's about like this big, and it was like a glowing like ball of like lime green light, and it just came down like 20 feet away from me. And then it stopped there and like hovered, like it wanted me to see it, like it was like, I see you and I want you to see me. And then it just kind of like shot forward and disappeared.
Wow.
And I actually found out Clifford Mahooty has a lot of experiences with this too, so I talked to him about it a little. But besides that, I've seen a lot of different craft on separate occasions. Like another time I was out and this like triangular craft came down low over me, and then it just like completely disappeared. It's like I was with a group of people and we could hear it coming down. It was like the noise and everything just completely vanished when it was right over us, and we're just like looking around like where did it go? Like you couldn't see anything in the sky. It was just like right over us and it was gone. But I mean, also, like, I don't know if this is some weird like secret space program stuff or what, because I know like they say like supposedly they can download your consciousness or whatever, but for like a year straight, every single night, as soon as I fell asleep, it was like instantly I would wake up and I'd be on this ship, like in a dream or whatever. And I would be with a bunch of other people. And every single night we would go to like a different planet or a different place. And like my most memorable experience was like one night, the ship landed. It looked like it was like the moon, there's like craters and everything. And there was like this ramp that kind of came up and we landed on the ramp and it went down like this. And it like turned into a ramp, but before it was like a glass like ceiling, and it's like an underground like place. And it went down, and I got out of the ship and I walked on the ramp, and all these little like gray aliens came running up to me, but they were like talking with their minds, like telepathically, but I could understand what they were saying, but they're still kind of like going like this when they're talking, like they're all excited to see me or something. And then like I remember looking over and the ramp came back up, turned back into a glass ceiling, and more ships, you could see them coming down to the glass, and they landed on the ramp and it went back down, and a bunch more little gray ones came out, but it was weird. It was like that was like my most vivid experience with it. But it was like every night for like a year. I don't know what that was about, but it like stopped after a while. But yeah, I mean, I've just had weird experiences my whole life. So, what are yours?
Well, one when I was a child, but I've questioned it in the past few years, thinking, well, what if it was just a government experiment, masked as that?
Yeah,
But
see, that's what I'm saying. Like the craft I've seen, I can't say, oh, it's aliens. Like I'm sure it was probably backwards engineered craft that our government owned, probably.
the TR-3B is the triangle ship,
Yeah,
known
yeah.
as the Belgian craft, and the patent for it was leaked on Google, I think a year or two ago. No, 2 years
Yeah.
ago, because last year I was with two of my friends from the radio morning show here, and it was exactly 7 o'clock. We were getting out at where I work at the Lodge Bar and Grill, and they were having line dancing night, and they do a country station, so they had to go to that. Well, it was also the night of a blood moon, so we parked the car aiming to across the street in the parking lot. And across the street is a little gas station, and then pine trees, or big old forest trees. Maybe 4 stories up. And I get out of the car, and my intention is to look for the blood moon, because I was going, oh, check it out. But it wasn't there. It was one of those comes up at 3 a.m. kind of blood moons. I look over the trees, and I see 3 dots in a triangle formation, slowly, like doing this, trying to get on camera, like it's on water. And it was going very slow, and it was silent. And I was like, get out of the car, UFO right now. They get out of the car going, and my buddy Brandon, total skeptic, everything was BS, none of it was real, gets out of the car, he's like, bullshit, oh my God, what is that? He goes, no, those are towers. I was like, bro, I work here, there's no towers there, look, it's going over the trees. He's like, it is. Went over the trees, and then off to our left, coming the opposite direction over the trees, was a helicopter with a searchlight. And then it steered off and went towards the hospital or the airport, wherever it was. It was probably one of the hospital med helicopters. But it was silent, and it went right over the parking lot, right over the trees, silent as can be. And see, when he saw it, why he said it looked like towers was because the angle that the triangle, how am I doing this? The angle that the triangle was, he was seeing it like this. So he saw a row of them, which kind of made me wonder, was it transparent? I don't know. They have the technology to make, to make it invisible with.
That's what I'm saying. The one I saw, it was right above me, and then it just disappeared.
They
and I'm
have,
like, so did the like technology, like the cloaking technology,
it's the
mess
skin.
up or something?
They have it's a special skin that literally can be a camera and a screen. So whatever's above,
Like
it's
a
filming.
4D hologram technology or whatever?
Well, it's kind of like whatever is above, all the cameras are shooting up, but they're putting the image on the bottom of the plane, and everything that's below is on top of the plane. It's camouflage. So, and they got blankets and outfits that they can wear. There's actually a video of someone testing this cloak, and they show them on an infrared sneaking into a military base and jumping up on a tank and stuff, and none of the guys around see. And so, yeah, DARPA does some cool. They got some cool toys over at DARPA, But what was really cool about that, my experience was, we saw it. I spazzed out. Oh my god, we gotta get. So I immediately called Dave Loomis at MUFON. I'm like, bro, I got my first UFO, report. And they took it. Then I found out. I went home. No. Right there, I was still at the bar. I got on the phone, and I put a thing on Facebook going, did anybody see anything over the Lodge Bar Grill in Pine Top at 7 o'clock? That's all I said. And someone coming back from one of the reservations, Indian reservations, said they were driving up from Sibique and pulled over because they saw the triangle ship going slow with 2 jet fighters escorting it. I didn't see jet fighters. I just saw it by itself. And then I got on Google, and I found out about the patent that got leaked. Then I found out that they do their missions on Thursday nights. Monday through Wednesday is prep, Thursday's flight, Friday's debriefing. They got the weekends off. but they store it at Kirkland in Phoenix, Kirkland Air Base, and they also have it at Kirtland in New Mexico. So I drew a line from those two air bases. That line went directly over the Lodge Bar and Grill.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I knew right away it wasn't alien. It was, our guys. So, but it's still cool.
Yeah, it's still cool.
So, anywho, all right. So, oh gosh, more people. Riker, Ross, Jessica, Tina, Richard, Meritus, Emily, Griffin, and Barb Baker have just joined us. Welcome everybody to the show. If you don't know, this is Apolla Asteria, model, actress, musician, a ufologist, researcher / presenter, and cool chick.
There's a lot of slashes in there.
Yeah. So, and Nancy, thank you for joining us. All right. So much going on. We've talked about Disclosure Con. Where do you want to see your acting career go? Do you want it to be strictly sci-fi? Or would you want to try other parts of the spectrum?
Well, I was discussing this with my manager, and she's like, I really, like last year she was telling me, I really think we should promote you as a sci-fi actress. So far, I've gotten the Star Trek, and that's cool. And I think that's a good route for me to go with, all the UFO stuff and everything. It really ties everything together. I don't think anyone else is really doing that.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to do like a sitcom too, though, because I'm actually pretty good at improv comedy, which is actually what I was doing on the feature film I'm in that I just mentioned earlier. It's called VHS, and it's produced by Tim Robbins and directed by his son. And it's kind of like you remember like the old like VHS tapes, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, basically the idea of it is like this little kid, he finds his parents, like it's in the 80s, it's set in the 80s, and this kid finds his parents' VHS or wedding tape. So they take it out, and then he put in the TV with his friend and like filmed all this stuff that was going on in the 80s, like over it. So there was like kind of like porn stuff, but not really, like 80s like cheesy, and then like and then like there was actually a little sci-fi thing in it, and it was just like a bunch of weird random stuff, like infomercials and weird stuff that would be on TV in the 80s. It was like spliced in, and it's just like kind of like improv comedy. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to see it.
Nice. I can actually attest to that. I got in trouble because I recorded a bunch of silly stuff over a wedding tape when I was a kid.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just like the movie I'm in.
Yeah.
Oh, but like I shouldn't ruin the end of it.
Yeah. So sorry, Aunt Hartwickson, Aunt Bonnie. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so I'm so excited that you're going to be there. A lot of people are already talking about you. They want to hear. They want to see what you got to present. And the other people that are going to be there, of course, Laura's going to be there. You guys like hanging out, so you'll have some time to do that. The fireside chat's going to be fun.
Oh my gosh! So Laura Eisenhower and Brad Olson and Brad Olson's girlfriend, who will also be there, Emily Finney. They're all like my favorite people in the scene. I'm so excited that they're all going to be there. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So let me just check one more time. Oh, Barb says she still has a VHS tape and player. Emily says, Infinity says, hey. So
hey.
Casey says, what's your guys' thoughts on ghosts? Did you ever have any experiences? Oh, of course he has to ask this one. Is it a stain of energy in a loop imprinted into our dimension from the past? Or is it an interdimensional being or a trapped soul that has not moved on? That's a heavy question because, after my experience this past week, I told you about that, right?
No, I don't think. Yeah.
I was in Seattle last week, and I worked on an episode of America Supernatural Uncovered with UK's leading #1 paranormal investigator, Don Phillips. This guy, Paula, you're gonna just, this guy is and his anyway, every kind of ability, dude is amazing. I mean, but he doesn't want to take he doesn't want labels. I mean, he can remote view, psychic, he can listen to spirits, talk to them, see them, heal. I mean, all this stuff. I watched what he did with a mouse and a crow that were on the brink of death. Yeah. And
What do you mean? Is he a necromancer too?
he brought them to life. I mean, they were on the brink of death, almost like no breath, rigor mortis style. A crow, crows, you just can't mess with a crow. It was like just in his arms. But all that stuff's coming out on his new show. He also did, when there's this, it's like you. I have to be careful what I say because shows are coming out.
Yeah.
But
it's so annoying. I always want to post.
I know, because you want to tell everybody. But I think I've learned the art of teasing over the past couple of years. I'm like, oh, wait till I tell you. You gotta watch. He does, dowsing rods, right?
Yeah.
Little rods, and you put in your hand. There's the camera. Okay, so he had this gentleman. His name's Steve. I don't remember his last name. He's like the most well-known British debunker on paranormal, ghost hunters and all that. He like buries them. I mean, you can't fool this guy. For 35 years, Don goes to him and says, "Look, I want you to come to this investigation with me." And he's like, "Don, I like you. You're a nice guy, but you do understand, you take me on this, I'm going to bury you. I mean, it's what I have to do." And Don's like, "You're perfect. Let's go." So they went, and the cameras were on him. It's all in this one episode he showed me. And Steve looked at the camera. He's like, "Yeah, this will be less than an hour. We'll be out of here." They were there 15 hours. He came out completely converted. I mean, okay, I'm going to tell my experience and you tell yours. All right. Do you have one? Okay. So yeah, I can't talk too much about the episode, but yeah, God, I know it's hard, isn't it? You want to just tell everything. So yeah, we went to go investigate one of the top 10 most haunted places in the state of Washington, which was the Oxford Saloon in Sonoma. I don't know. It's an indie name. By the way, that's apple juice, folks.
Yes. Organic sparkling cider, not champagne.
And so, I'm just Casey. Casey's funny. It's the day. It's the afternoon. Okay, mid-afternoon. We are in Everett, Washington, 45 minutes away, a whole nother town. The manager of the establishment did a little, she kind of just in the building said, "Hey, everybody, just so you know, we got an investigator coming in tonight. His name's Don Phillips, so just want to give you a heads up." And one of the spirits, this is a 100-year-old building. It had a speakeasy down in the basement, a gentleman's club on the main floor, and a brothel on the third floor. And that's why I'm wearing these. I forgot. There was a story of one of the ladies of the night, as we call them, found dead in the bathtub upstairs with her wrist slash. Well, that's been the story for 70 years. And all I can say is that wasn't the true story. We found out because Don, when he's around, the label for Don, he's a catalyst. Okay. When he's around, stuff happens. It's just kind of like Michael J. Fox in Frighteners. Remember how the ghost would sought him out and say, "Hey, can you go talk to my ex-wife," or whatever? That's what they do to him. And we were in a store at the register paying, and all of a sudden something happens, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" He was like, yeah, I'm fine.
They can tell that he can sense them.
Oh yeah. I mean, it turned out that, where'd you go? Did we freeze? Oh no. There you are.
I was like, why did it stop right there?
Okay. I was like, shoot, we're gonna start all over. So we are like a whole nother location. This spirit of the girl that slashed wrist left that location because they're not bound as I thought, and sought him out in this store in the middle of the day and let him know it was going to be an active night, basically. And it was he does the EVP where you get the tape recorder. Most people will sit there and just leave it on and they'll talk and whatever. He sits there with his digital recorder. He deletes it and formats it on camera, all in one shot. And then he goes to track one and he asks the question. Then he records for 10 seconds. That's all you need, he says. And the first question, it's actually in last week's show where I had him on my show. We filmed it in Seattle. That was the only clip we had time to look at because it was the night before. I mean, we just got up from our nap from coming back from it. And it was the first question of the night. He had a feeling that it wasn't suicide. So he holds up the tape recorder and he goes, I'm just going to ask just straight up, was the girl found in the bathtub murdered? Hits record. We all wait patiently for 10 seconds. It's silent in the room. He hits play and you hear, yes. We were like, holy shit. It was wild. And I skipped a part. After the store earlier in the day, we were at the house loading up the car. And we had 3 female assistants with us, or crew members. And it was just me and them. We're in the garage. The garage door's open, and I'm standing kind of outside on the driveway, and I've got my phone in my hand. And I hear, hello, hello. And I look at my phone thinking I butt dialed somebody lifting stuff. My phone wasn't on. There was nobody around us that was male except me.
Wait, your phone was saying that?
I thought it was my phone. It was in the air, but it sounded like it was coming from my phone. And so when we were at the building later that night, that happened where he said, yes, she was murdered. And sometimes it's all on video. It'll all be in the episode. Sometimes it was full sentences. And one had like an Irish accent or something. We basically solved some things. We were like Scooby-Doo that night, the Scooby-Doo crew. It was really cool. Actually, the Scooby-Doo statement, when we were up on the 3rd floor after and we didn't do any of it in the dark. I told him at the end, if someone was coming, I was like, yeah, I was really hoping you were going to like stick me in a closet or something. And he was like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, well, I know that now, but
it makes it more fun.
I still wanted to kind of get a little scared because I had fun doing it. I wasn't afraid at all. So we're on the 3rd floor. I had just shot a reenactment scene, when we're telling the story in the episode. And all of us are together in this room on the 3rd or the brothel floor. And we hear a crash. And then we hear, help, a female voice. So I look at everybody. I was like, did you guys just hear that? I mean, it was as plain as you talking to me, that clear. And then they were like, yeah, we heard that. And we hear it again. Help. So we think it's the female manager downstairs. Something dropped on her, right? So we run down 2 flights of stairs, like Scooby-Doo, around the corner into the bar. And we're like, are you okay? And she's just sitting there texting on her phone. She's like, what's up? She goes, I heard a crash, but I didn't say help. So that was, those moments just sealed it for me. I was like, it's real. It's real. Because I know ventriloquists. I know personally, and no, nobody was doing that. So, and the crashes in other rooms that we weren't in. And what was crazy while we were discussing what we were going to do, and this happened, none of us had our cameras on. So we were like, I can't say it, but I was like, we didn't get it on tape. 15 minutes later, after we had gone down and she said, no, it wasn't me. She had come up the stairs with her cell phone. She goes, well, here, I got the security footage. We didn't notice there was a camera above our heads, high res 4K HD night vision with amazing audio. And we caught it. We caught it on video. So, it's going to be,
awesome.
American Supernatural.
The sound was on it and everything.
The voice of her going, help, help.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I have been asked to join the team. So I will be a part of a Supernatural and pretty pumped about it. So we got I was the second to the last episode for this season. We might do the next one in Arizona, and we're researching Jerome, Arizona, which is supposed to be like the most haunted town in the state. So that should be fun. All right. That was my ghost story. Yours.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I couldn't do what you do because I had a problem with a ghost following me home from a situation like that when I was younger that like terrified me. And I think I've always kind of been sensitive to like spirits. And I think that's why like I've actually had a medium tell me this before, but I like kind of block it out because I had such a crazy experience when I was younger that like, okay, so here's my experience there. There's like this really haunted insane asylum in my hometown, the Midwest. It's in Bartonville, Illinois. It's right outside Peoria, Illinois. There was like this old like mental asylum, and if you just look at it, it's just like, you know, really old and creepy looking. I think they were talking about tearing it down, but I think they decided not to. I'm not really sure. I'll have to ask when I get back in town. But so everyone that died at this insane asylum, there's this one guy that signed in, registered there in, you know, like the 40s or something like that. And no one knew what his name was, but when he wrote, he said like a bookbinder. And I think that was like, I guess it was his job, but he put it in the name title. So everyone just knew him as bookbinder. And he would,
okay. I think I've heard the name before. Okay, go on.
Oh,
I don't know
the
much.
story?
I've heard, I've heard somebody mention mine or bookbender before.
Okay.
So go on. I'm interested. Yeah.
So whenever people died at the insane asylum, because obviously that happened a lot, you know, they're doing lobotomies and crazy stuff to people. And I actually studied this place. Like I went in there and like looked at the walls and everything. They have like chains hanging off the walls. It looks like a torture chamber, the entire place. It's still like that. But so this guy, every time someone died there, whenever they had a funeral at the grounds nearby, he would always lean up against a tree and cry, and he would like wail, and everyone in the place, and he even would help dig the graves. That was just like, he just wanted to do it, I guess. It was like, you know, even though he was like a patient there, he wasn't too messed up, I guess.
Yeah.
So when he died, apparently when they were lowering his coffin into the grave, you know how when people like, or you know how they had to deal with the ropes back in the day?
Yeah.
Well, when the guys, like, you know, the big like men went to like lower it with the ropes, they thought that it was going to be like heavy because there was a body in it, but it just bounced right back up. So like they were all like, whoa. And then like as soon as that happened, hundreds of people that were at this funeral, or you know, like 100 people or so, they look over and they hear wailing from the tree where the guy used to always cry at. And like they just saw his like energy there, and they heard it like coming out of the tree. And then all of a sudden his weight went back in the coffin and it went down. So
wow.
I thought when I was 10, I was like, okay, it'll be a really cool idea if I go to this place and I take some bark off this tree. So I went to the tree that everyone talked about from the story, and maybe I was younger than 10. I don't know. I think I was around 10. And I just pulled a bunch of bark off the tree, and I was looking around the property. I tried to like crawl in the building and look through some windows. And I just thought it was really interesting, you know. And I like when I went home, I totally forgot about it. I just had bark from the tree. I wasn't thinking anything weird about it. Like it was just, you know. So I was just laying in bed that night, and then I just felt this really weird, like creepy energy. I just like felt like terrified. Like I totally forget. Like I wasn't thinking like, oh, I have this like ghost bark in my room. I wasn't I wasn't thinking about it, and I just felt this terrifying feeling. And then I realized I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this like ghost bark in my room. So I grabbed it, I threw it out the window, and I was like freaking out. And this energy like stayed in my room for like 3 weeks. Like
Whoa.
ever since then, I just I could not go do ghost stuff. But like another time, I guess that one story that's really interesting where I actually saw one was I was at an old house in Beverly Hills one time, and my friend, his mom runs Beverly Hills Times magazine. I used to go around purchasing ads for it. So I'm hanging out in this house, and I'm talking to my friend, and I see over his shoulder there was this like weird like swirling kind of like energy like creeping out behind the door behind her when I was talking to her. And I was really weirded out. I didn't want to freak her out, so I didn't say anything. And then a little while later, I was in the main living room with them, and her boyfriend at the time, and there was like the swirling energy or whatever it was. It came in the middle of the room, and it was between all of us when we were talking, and it was just like, it almost reminded me of like static on TVs, but when it was like kind of colored, you know, like back in the day, but it was like swirling. But they didn't see it, I guess, but I saw it clearly, and it really weirded me out. So I don't know what that was. Apparently there's a ghost there, but yeah, those are my ghost stories.
Wow. Well, we're getting some comments and questions here. Um, that one I'm missing. Okay, so the VHS tape, we covered that. Casey's question. Have you ever had any strange electrical disturbances happen to you? Electrical, like maybe walking under a lamp and it goes out. Does that happen to you?
Electric. Oh, Casey said that.
No, that's Pat
Oh, someone
Leo.
else said that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
Pat
was
Leo,
gonna
my buddy.
say that was funny he'd say that because I just have a weird thing with like I don't know why, but every time I'm in front of like computers or like I'm driving cars, they always just like zap and like stop working. I just have like major issues with it. Like I thought Casey said that comment because he knows what I'm talking about. Every time I go
Yeah.
on a computer or anything, it'll just completely like go black. And I learned my uncle who's an energy healer, he told me that it happens to him all the time. And apparently it like runs in the family, like none of us can wear watches or anything. So I don't know.
Wow.
I don't really watch to see if streetlights go out behind me, but maybe they
Mm,
do.
yeah. Well, we have some newcomers. Chris Bennett, comedian. He's on, joined us. Emily, of course, there says, love you too, Apolla. Laura Eisenhower is on. She says, love you.
Oh my God.
Emily says, we're going to have a good time, ladies.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Amanda Berry and Laura, okay, so they joined, answered his question. Casey says, I got to go with D, all of the above, haha. And then he wanted to let you know that you're lush because of the bottle. That's an older message.
Apple cider is great, especially when sparkling.
Shy has joined. Casey says, I don't identify as a funny person, so I take offense to that. I identify as a not funny person. And then, of course, Brandon replied to him, says, I say time does not exist, so could be all the above, although I lean towards a higher interdimensional beings. That must have been earlier. Kyra joined, Tiffany, Alex Maples from Texas, Tanya, Bob Barker says, there's a ghost in Taylor, Arizona, where I'm over by me, at the old school. Ask me. All right, Barb, I will chat with you a little bit later on that. Maybe we could do an investigation. Jane says, hi guys, what's your experience of psychic mediums? Have you ever had a psychic reading yourselves? Oop, there's more. How did you find it? Thanks, Jane, from England.
A psychic medium?
Yeah.
Okay, I just actually had an experience with that recently when I had it my whole life. Should I talk about it?
Yeah, but what's so cool is she's from England, so we're international tonight.
Oh, she's a psychic. She's a medium from England.
No, she just says, "What's your experience of psychic mediums? Have you ever had a psychic reading yourself? How did you find it?" That was the question.
Well, if we're talking about mediums, I've had several readings done throughout my life, which were all very interesting. But is she talking about just a medium in general, or like a psychic in general, or a medium?
She just says experience of psychic mediums, and I guess in general. So.
Okay. Well, I actually had an experience with a medium like recently that I had never really seen a medium before, and I'd been wanting to. And okay, so this is really interesting. With the whole UFO scene, most people that do presentations, they usually write a book first, and then they do their presentations on their book, and that's how they sell their books. So I've been wanting to write a book for a long time, and I've been thinking like maybe I should write a book on my topic of my presentation, and it was just kind of something I was thinking to myself around before Alien Con and all that was going on in LA in the summer. But I hadn't really told anyone about it. I was just thinking about it. And then like randomly I was sitting at my booth and this famous medium came up to my booth that I'd known from the year before, and he was just asking me how I'd been and everything. And then he's like, so when are you going to start writing that book? And I was like, how did you know that? And he's like, oh, that lady next to you told me about it. And I was like, I'm just sitting at my booth at a convention. I'm like, what lady next to me? And then I was like, oh, you're a medium. And he's like, yeah. He was like, there's this older Irish-looking lady next to you. She says she's your grandmother. Her name starts with a D, Dolores. I was like, yeah, her name's Dolores. Oh my God. And he was like, okay, well, she says that you're going to write this book and you're going to be very successful with it, but you need to focus. You just need to start doing it. And I was like, wow, okay. I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. and he was like telling me how she wanted me to do it. Like he told me to like that she was telling him to go put a magnet on my fridge that said write a book under it. So I did that. And so far I've been working on the outline. It's just been like a month. But and it was really random. Like he started so my younger brother, he went through this like liver disease when he was younger, and like he's about like 6 years younger than me. My mom gave him part of her liver around when I was like in second grade. He was 2. And she like started talking about that whole thing. She went on and on about it, like how she made negotiations on the other side to like keep him here. And it was just like really amazing because like everything, I didn't know this guy at all. Like I just met him the year before and we talked, and that's the only way I knew him. So, I mean, that was my only medium experience I've had before, and it was pretty much really blew me away. So.
Wow. That's a wild story.
Yeah.
We've got, let's see, next question. Jackie is with us, Shane. Serge, hey Serge. He's joined Samantha and Fallon. That's such a cool name, Fallon. I like that. Barb also says she can't wear a watch either. Food lasts longer in my refrigerator than normal. I have unseen friends in my home. So Barb, you and I got some stuff to talk about. Serge waves, and yeah, we're good on that. Now, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to this event. And I'm so excited to have you. And I know all the ladies here are going to have a lot of fun. I've got a few women I want to introduce you to because you're a strong, independent woman. And I like that in women. So I think more women need to be that.
Thank you.
So yeah, so I'm gonna be introducing you to some of my female friends up here.
Awesome.
And then yeah, we're gonna have a great time. But oh my gosh, we've gone way over an hour, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was like, how long is this going on? But I'm having so much fun here.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we got questions answered and that people asked. And Xavier, man, you're gonna have to watch the replay, bro. You came in too late. Let's see. And Barb has one last question. We'll do one last question, okay? She wants to know if you channel.
If I channel. You know, I've been wondering that a lot lately. Like, I don't really know how to be able to tell when you're channeling, but I feel like I can really tap in when I'm writing. Like, I noticed that ever since I was a little kid, like, I would always just, like, write, like, all this stuff just randomly at night. You know, like, I would just wake up in the middle of the night and be getting, like, all these, like, downloads, so I'd have to write it all down. And, like, years later, I'd look at it and I'd be like, I can't believe I wrote this kind of stuff when I was, like, 10, you know? And I don't know, it's really weird, but I feel like sometimes when I talk, I can, like, it's almost like I can feel it coming in from here, you know?
Yeah.
Like I noticed it. Laura Eisenhower, I don't know if she's still watching right now. She does it for sure. Like when she talks, it's just like, ooh, like just like coming through.
Yeah.
But I can't channel to her extent for sure. Yeah. But I can definitely feel it coming through. And I think everyone has the ability to do it. I guess for myself right now, I've been trying to differentiate like how to be able to tell when I'm doing it and maybe how I can tap into it a little more.
Yeah, I was mentioning that to Don Phillips the other day in Seattle. I was like, I've never really focused on abilities or anything like that. But I always feel like I have a cop radar built in because I always know when there's one coming up.
That's hopeful.
Little things like that. For example, I'll leave my house, but I'll just grab random stuff. But then I needed them later in the day. Didn't know it when I grabbed whatever I grabbed. And I've just come to a point, I don't even question. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm grabbing this pen, And then someone needs an autograph. I'm like, okay, I got a pen. Just whatever. So I asked him, I was like, can you ask your spirit guide if I do have abilities and where's this light switch so I can turn it on? Because I think it would be kind of cool to have control over an ability that is right now just fleeting.
Yeah. I mean, supposedly all humans, we all have all these different abilities everyone talks about. We just have to tap into them.
Exactly.
And I think that's probably part of the whole ascension shift is everyone doing the inner work individually to work on themselves and be able to activate these different things within themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we're in for a big change coming up soon. I just feel it.
Yes.
Well, Apolla, thank you so much for coming on the show, and congratulations with Picard. And yeah, I think that what I'm envisioning, my premonition, is you will be a big sci-fi celebrity, and when you're not on set, you're probably going to be at Comic Cons all over the world, and just being adored by everybody, and you're going to make a
I
couple
would
bucks
love
too.
that so much.
I mean, you got to admit, Comic Con circuit people, they have the life. Just going to a Comic Con every weekend for a full year would be just awesome. Um, I see you at least doing a season of it, at least that. So, wish you all the best and everything. Now, I'm gonna close off the show, but hold on, okay? And we'll do our goodbyes later, okay?
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Apolla Asteria, check her out. The new season of Picard. Check out her band. Go. What was the websites again for the people who came on late, so they know where to go?
The band is whatisthesiren.com. That has all the links to the YouTube and everything. My website, apollaasteria.com. Sure, my name is linked on here. It's just my name. And then my Shaman Spears website is shamanspears.com. I'm actually about to put all the products on there soon. That was something I haven't really been doing just because you have so many different things in it that it's hard to explain everything. But I guess I'm just gonna start doing it because I'm tired of selling them at shows all the time. So yeah. So look out for that. I should have them up this week. So maybe just keep looking this week, and if you want one, pretty sweet. Help fund my trip in my rental car into Disclosure Con.
Yes. That's right, folks. Disclosure Con, October 5th and 6th. You can meet Apolla Asteria. She's going to have her booth there. She will be speaking along with all of our other amazing guests, Laura Eisenhower, Rex Bear, David Loomis, Don Phillips, Stacey Wright, Jim Mann, Brooks Agnew, Ben and Rob from Edge of Wonder, Joel Christopher Payne from Friendlians, Suzanne Ross, I Spy TV Network, Natasha Nix, Mysterious Forces Live, Brad Olson from World Stompers, Antarctica, South America, and everywhere else he travels on this planet. So, folks, thank you so much for joining me tonight on this special edition of 1028 Live. Every Tuesday and Thursday night, except the 19th this month, we will be having all of our guests from Disclosure Con one at a time on here, so you get to know who they are before you come to Disclosure Con. So, thank you, everybody, for joining. Apolla, thank you so much. You're awesome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And we will see you all Thursday with, hold on, just double check before I say it. Oh yeah, Thursday is going to be a special one. Hopefully either my phone or my laptop will work, but I will be in Phoenix at the International UFO Conference. And I am nervous because it's going to be everybody and anybody that, all the big names are going to be there. I hope you come too.
I want to be there. I don't trust my card. I just haven't planned for it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just come.
You just need to find a black card, and then you can go everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if everybody could have a black card in American Express?
I would love that so much.
Yeah. So, all right. So, folks, yeah, you can come see me at UFO Conference. I'll be at the Mysterious Forces Live booth Thursday and Friday in Phoenix. And then I'll be in L.A. on the 20th through the 22nd for the Love Film Festival. Love something film festival. Oh, I'm a schmuck for not knowing this. I should have had this ready. And then I will be at the Chinese Theater for the Red Carpet Movie Premiere Turnover set November 1st. So if you're in LA and you want to come see this movie, hit me up, call me, message me, and we'll see what we can do, because I would love to have a huge group of friends come on out and meet all these great cast members and crew members, the director, the writer, everybody.
I'd love to come out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You got to be there. So, all right, folks, that's it. It's 8:22 Mountain Time. So I will say adieu. And Apolla, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right, hold on one moment. All right, folks, we'll talk to y'all later. Ciao. All right. And then I got to make sure that the stream stopped, because there's a delay. And okay, you waved. Yay! All right, it worked.
Sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, you're gonna have a great time here. Because this is a new concept and a new thing for me, I am going over the top to make sure you guys have the best time here. So
I'm really excited. It sounds like it's gonna be a really fun event.
yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I got a skedoodle. I got to go talk to one of the investors tonight, see if I get some money to pay for the casino tomorrow.
Cool. Good luck with that.
All right. Well, you have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.